Okay, so in this video, we're going to show how to use Bartender Designer and how to create a label template. So first, obviously, we open Bartender after we install the license and the drivers, and we're going to create a blank template here. Okay. Um, Previously, we would. So let's see here. We're going to choose the Chainway CP30 300 DPI, which is the printer that we configure on the drivers. We're going to do a customize settings, uh, single item per page, and here does your stock have a small amount of unused material? Yeah, we will say yes. We put a rectangle because that's the shape of the labels that we will be using. And then here we're going to have to convert the millimeters into inches. So basically the tags that we will be using here are the 44, let me just check it out. Yeah, 44 by 18, so 44 millimeters is 1.73 inches. And then the 18 millimeters is 0.78, 0.0708. Okay, in this case, it's actually 1.732. Okay, so portrait, we go next, next, and finish. So we have now our label. I want to expand this. Okay, so this is the template for our label. So here we can add text, we can add barcodes, and we're also going to do the programming for the RFID setup. All right, so in this case, we can start with text. So we just click it here. Oh, sorry. Normal text, and we create a sample text here. And then once we have this sample text, we go here into text one on the left, and we're going to change the font so it doesn't look too big here. Yeah, we're going to stick with that font for now. Let's say we're going to go with a 6 and go with it. All right, so this text for the label that we're creating will be on the side, maybe a little bit here. Maybe the text needs to be a little bit smaller, so we're gonna change the font again to 4. If it's not showing here on the list, you just type whatever number you want and it will make it happen. All right, so don't change the actual text yet because we want to pull it from a different file. And then we're going to create another text here, same size that goes below. That will be for the product description or the SKU number, whatever is what we require. So the first one was for the UPC, and then the second one will be used for the product description or the SKU number, whatever is what you guys need. All right, besides that, we only need to add an image for the EPC. So we're gonna go to pictures and insert from file. I already downloaded the EPC. Here we go. We found it. Okay, so we put it here. We reduce the size. Should be approximately 4 millimeters. So let's see, so 4 millimeters is 0.15 inches. So a little bit longer than this. It's about probably this size. Yeah, about that size, and then we put it on the on the right in the middle. About there should be fine. All right, so we're gonna center this text here. All right, so this is all we need for now. Now we're gonna have to work on the so that we're gonna actually collect all this information from a file. So we pull it like as a database. All right, so if we go and look for that file that I already created, is this one. Okay, this is the file that we created based on the information that you guys sent. So okay, so the first thing to do here is to figure out the item numbers. All right, so we got the company prefix, we got the GTIN numbers, which are the UPC codes, and now we had to figure out the item numbers. So the way that we do this, there is a logic process on doing this. So first, we're going to grab the GTIN number, and we're going to, let's say, remove the last number. So, okay, so that number will never be considered to calculate the item number. All right, that's the first thing to keep in mind. Second one is we're going to use the company prefix and count how many digits it has. In this case, the first item has 369, right? So if the company prefix has 9 digits, then the item number should have 4 digits, okay? In this case, when the company prefix has 10 numbers, like so one more than the previous 3, then the item number will only have 3 digits. All right, so that's something to keep in mind because it's going to be used later. All right, so now how do we get to this 0022? So we're going to get the GS1 company prefix and basically take that number and go all the way. So see, this number ends on 04. So basically it repeats here and we go all the way to 04. Okay, so what's left here is 022, and then we say that the 7 doesn't count because it's the last number, so it's basically 022. Okay, but that's only 3 digits. So what do? We add a 0 in front of it. Okay, so let's try with the second digit here. Um, okay, so we got the company prefix that goes all the way to 204. So okay, same here, all the way to 204. So the next numbers are 220, right? The 7 doesn't count. So it's 220, but because this number has to be 4 digits, then we add an extra 0 in front of it. That's why it ends up like 0220. Let's try with 10 digits company prefix, okay? So this number ends at 565. So we go all the way to 565, and then the next numbers are 094. But 4 doesn't count, so we only grab 0 and 9, okay? 0 and 9, but because this number has to be 3 digits, we have to add 10 here in front of it. All right, so let's grab another number that has a company prefix of 10 digits. Okay, let's grab this one, for example. It goes all the way to 16. So in this case, 16. So the next numbers will be 99. We don't count the 6. All right, so 99. And because this digit has to be 3 digits, this number has to be 3 digits, we add a 0 in front of it. Okay, so that's how you figure out the item numbers. So we can actually make a formula, but it's a little bit complicated because it uses zeros in front of it, so it does not recognize those as numbers. So there is you gotta use like a text format. But in your case, because we're not gonna be using a lot of SKUs, it's easier to do it in this way. Okay, so you need to add more items later. just follow that pattern that we just showed you. Okay, and if you need help, you can always call us. Okay, so we save this file now with company prefix, GTIN numbers, item numbers, and whatever other information you might want to use in your labels. Okay, so we save this file as a CSV. We already did it, so it's safe like that. CSV. Okay, so then we go back to Bartender, and then we are going to associate the information here to this database. So what do we do here? So we will pull a database, and we're gonna choose, let me see if it's a CSV. Okay, a text file, which also includes any CSV files. Go next, database, and then we select the file. So the one that we pulled today, I believe is this one. Okay, next, next. Yeah, finish. Okay, so now that we have the file loaded here, we're going to be assigning the value of this text to one of the columns of the new file. Okay, so we click on the on the on the square here, or the rectangle. We select text one, double click, and then we're going to go to, so text one, data sources. Okay, so data sources and sample text. In this case, we're going to be pulling, it's not embedded data, it's actually a database field. All right, so because that file has already been loaded, we're going to choose here. Let me just finish this real quick. Okay, 1 second. There is something wrong here. So because we grabbed the wrong number, the wrong file, and it had a format that was not right, we have to delete this one and then add a new record set. Okay, we go back to here, ping, database, select the file. In this case, it's going to be this one now. I hope. Yep. Let's check it out. And Unicode. Let me see if this is all right. Yep, that's fine. All right, next. The first row is header contains. Okay. Yep. And we should be good now. All right, so let's now we'll go to text one. We're going to pull data sources here. It's database field. Okay, so now we have the list of the headers for each column. In this case, we're going to use the first number as the GTIN or the UPC. And yep, we're going to assign that number here. All right, so now it's pulling directly the number from the file. Okay, so for the second text here, we're going to grab text number 2. And we're going to change embedded data. And we're going to use database field. Go next. And in this case, we're going to be using, let's say, your SKU number. Okay. So we got that. And we got now the GTIA number and the SKU number. All right. And now we have to work on the RFID encoding. So this is all the information that will be printed on the label. This is how it will look. If you want to add a barcode number, you can also click in here. It will be a UPC-A. You just click it here. You give it the right size. This is obviously too big. You also have to format this with the right, let's say we go to barcode here. We change the fonts, right? We put it, let's say 3, close. Yeah, so now it looks something like this. You can actually extend. And then you have to program this to pull the information from the UPC or the ETIN database field. Okay, but in this case, because we're not going to be using this, we're just going to delete this field. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the RFID section. So we're going to click into this icon that has the encoding portion of it. We go with Rain RFID EPC. Okay, that creates this little square here, which is an indicator that RFID is being programmed now. And then we go under our Rain RFID. Let me see here. This is fine. Yeah, instead of hexadecimal data type, we're gonna go with SGTIN 96, and then we're going to edit this section here. So for filter value, in the case for retail, is always going to be 1. Then company prefix, we're going to pull it from the same database. Okay, so we pull here the database field that we chose, and then select the column. So company prefix is the second one on the list. Finish. And then item reference, same thing. We pick database field, next, and item reference number. Okay, this one, and finish. And the serial number is actually not going to come from there, but it's going to be a serialized number, right? So in this case, let me think about this. Character serialization. Okay. So in this case, we're going to go with serialization. We're going to do increment, and we're going to leave it like that, one at a time. Yep. Okay. All right, and then close it. So now we got our EPC programmed to kind of match the information that we described. All right, and that's it. If you get any error while you program this, or you add the wrong number or something that doesn't match the standard, this green square will turn red, telling you that there is an error. Okay. In this case, everything matched the standard, so that's why it's turning out green. Okay, so now we are going to finalize configuration of the RFID by adding the permalock. So we go into security, and we're going to put specify security settings, and on the first section here for EPC block, we're going to select lock permanently. The other ones can remain the same, and under password we can change this to constant value, yeah, random password, and okay, and that's it. Now all the tags will be permalocked, so they cannot be uh, edited or the APC code change. Okay, all right, and that's it. Now we're going to do a printing, and the way that you do the printing, you can select how many copies you want of each of the SKUs, and here you're going to select the number of SKUs. This is pulling from the database that we loaded. So you want to print all of them, you just select all of them and you put the number of copies that you want. Or you just want to print, let's say, this one, then yeah, you just select that one, okay, and print. Okay, and yep, so the printer just send that information, and yep, we're good to go. Once you get the actual label, then you to validate that it has been properly encoded, you peel it off or you take it off from the printer, and then you use the application for the reading card. So you open it up, you put the label at the bottom. On top of it, you will put the card with the light, LED lights on the top section, and then on top of that card, you put the phone. Open the application, and then press start. Wait a few seconds, and it's going to show up the GTIN number and the serial number. Okay, so basically then you just validate that that GTIN number is matching the GTIN number that you have provided. And if that's the case, then you're good to go. And that's basically it. Okay, thank you.